The following presentation is brought to you through the paid memberships of NotaryStars.com, the only notary training platform and resource library with over 150 hours of training on every loan product under the sun. Together with our sister website, OnlineNotariesPublic.com, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary, we strive to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without overfabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support us, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member and trusting us to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Welcome to MGM Monday General Mentorship. If you are currently driving, please remember to remain off camera and in listen-only mode. Your safety is important to us. If you're not driving, please remember to watch the chat for links to previous trainings and topics. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024, and we hope all of you were able to catch up on some of our previous trainings as we were closed last Monday for President's Day, so we didn't have Monday General Mentorship. My name is Beth Hathout. I'm the lead instructor for Notary Stars, and I have with me tonight two awesome co-hosts, Mr. Ronnie Mickle. I think most of you know him. He's the founder and co-owner of Notary Stars, Unlimited Ink Notary, and Online Notaries Public. My other co-host is Mr. William Bumfrey, aka Mr. Bill. He's our expert remote online notary instructor. This public training session is held every Monday except for holidays, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's all about you, the awesome notary and signing agent community who are all striving to achieve, maintain, and surpass signing agent excellence. Everybody is trying to get somewhere, guys, and this is all about how we get there together. You know, Helen Keller once said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. There is no doubt we are off and running in 2024, and we have to say that your brilliant questions every week during Monday General Mentorship have not only been amazing, but also so many notaries throughout the country continuously write into us, thanking us, because those questions help them as well. That's what it's all about together. This type of session works best if you can do just a couple of things. One, turn on your cameras, interact with us and your colleagues. Two, raise your hand to either ask a question or offer something you've learned to help someone else. All you have to do to virtually raise your hand is use the raise hand feature at the bottom of your screen, or if you prefer keyboard combinations, try Alt plus Y if you're on a PC, or Option plus Y if you're on Mac. That works like a toggle switch for you, up and down, okay? Before we get started, we'd like to ask you to please consider following us on your preferred social media platforms. We post a great deal of information about free training sessions, and we post short training nuggets as well. Those social media links are in the chat now, and you should see them on the replays as well. And guys, if you don't know how to download the chat, those three little dots inside that chat box when you're looking at it, upper right-hand corner, click on that, save chat, wait until the end of the session. Otherwise, you're only going to get exactly what came before the time that you did that. So we'll remind you before we close out again as well. I think, Mr. Ronnie, I'm done talking. You ready to kick us off?
Absolutely. So first of all, guys, I want to ask you if you wouldn't mind, if you literally are not naked running around your house right now, turn on your cameras, because we live in 2024. A lot of us, even the Californians, are going to have to learn to be on camera, and this is a safe place for you to start getting comfortable to be on the camera. And you know, it's so funny. I see cameras lighting up right now, and people are sitting there in front of their device. It's okay. We don't care what your house looks like. You know, you should see mine, you know, come Thursday nights. Luckily, I got some cleaning time this weekend, but we want to see your faces, and it makes it easier to interact with you. We have a lot of things to go through tonight. Your questions are so beautiful, and I want to explain why we do this. Everybody asks me all the time, why are you so successful? It's because I kept my ear to the ground on what's going on in the notary industry, what other notaries were having problems with, and how could I resolve it in my own notary business. I've been doing that for 15 years now, and I learned it through Facebook groups. We do this session so you can keep your ear to the ground, hear what's going on in other notaries' businesses across the country, and then turn that into moolah for yourself. Okay. So with that said, I want you to know that we are growing in 2024. We brought in another 100 and something. I think it's like 130 Notary Stars as of February 26th. That's in addition to the 10,000 plus that have already been through Notary Stars, or not 10,000 plus, almost 10,000. I don't want to get quoted wrong here, and you guys can go to the site and see how many people are on it. So there you go. We are expanding by bringing in new trainers, and I want you to know that we are passing the torch, so to speak. And this has been my vision. We turned 5 years old this year, and we are bringing in new trainers to Notary Stars, and we are starting with our next pass of the torch. It started with me. Then, we had some, tests, and then Beth came on, and we've done what we can do to get it to this point where we have to start expanding. So tonight we'd like to introduce our next notary trainer that we'll be unveiling for you. And Miss Beth, why don't you give her a proper introduction?
Well, our new instructor is Miss Kirsten Bly from right here in our own Valley of the Sun, Arizona. Kirsten brings 25 plus years of customer service experience, as well as a Bachelor of Science degree with a minor in sociology, art history, and humanities. She's a continual student that's eager to learn, and you can always find her brushing up on her notary and loan signing skills with us at the Notary Stars live training classes. She's become my sidekick. She's just there all the time. She has extraordinary skills at deciphering and presenting loan documents that we wanted to latch on to her. And so Notary Stars offered her the opportunity to be part of our team. Kirsten tells us she moved to Arizona to be near family by way of California and Canada. She has dual citizenship. After graduating, she moved here after graduating from university in the fall of 2007. Kirsten became a notary in the beginning of 2021 and a Notary Star in the fall of 2021. She's always interested in what notaries did, and the fact that they worked their own schedules kind of intrigued her. She joined a notary group where she met some amazing notaries who she talks to daily and just came to love the notary life. Kirsten loves meeting all of the new people that being a notary brings and uses her customer service skills to make her clients feel at ease at the table. She also hosts a notary group meetup for her local area once a month and can now add instructor to her list of achievements. Please, everybody, help us welcome Kirsten Bly to the team here at Notary Stars. By the way, in case you're interested, her first class is on the 28th of this month, Thursday or Wednesday. So if you show up, be kind.
And guys, listen, let me explain why we're bringing Kirsten in as well. And if you don't know, we're going to have more trainers unrolling this year, including Spanish speaking for the Spanish speaking community. It is time to pass the torch, and we learned something from Carol Ray. It's really hard when everything is inside your brain to pass that on to the next generation. And what we want to do here at Notary Stars is to continue to bring in trainers that are exciting, new, and fresh. And Kirsten actually touches my heart the most. As you heard, she does local meetup groups, and she's not in it to make money, which Notary Stars, I mean, it's a business, but this is my passion project. I'm not getting rich off this. I mean, at our rates compared to for what we offer and compared to other classes, we want to be able to, teachers are always the least paid in the industry. Kirsten has shown me that someone can, literally come in and just be a sponge And she just happens to be in an area where she's in between two wonderful cities where she can see Tucson and she can see Phoenix, and she's helping everyone around her. And she's not charging them. You know, she's just out there helping people. And I see this going on, and she has so much, you know, to offer, and her brain just works in that forward thinking motion of how can I help other people? How can I help myself? How can I help other people? And I just want to welcome you to the Notary Stars team. And I look forward to watching you unfold as an instructor here. And seriously, you have my heart, and you are a wonderful person. And I can't wait to see how everything unfolds for you. So welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to post one last thing and we're going to get started with the questions. Just a little reminder, we just did a new onboarding for Notary Stars, which we do every year. There are so many new features, including, you know, the updated blacklist that you guys oh so ever need to cling to. Those are all the new companies that have been blacklisted throughout the country, not just by Notary Stars, but from other resources as well. And we've also updated, we literally called every single company that's on our hiring list and made sure that they're still in business. I posted that in the chat. And then also the last thing, if you are an Arizona notary, we are not training on March 23rd. We are seriously going to throw down and party. So I posted that in the chat as well. That goes along with all those links. We would love, and if you're going to be in Arizona on March 23rd, we're not doing any training. We do that 5 days a week at Notary Stars Plus, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. If you're going to be in Arizona, I posted it in the link. It is $59 a seat. There's limited seating. We are getting on a party bus. We're getting some food. We're getting some drinks. We're stopping at the casino. We would love for you to all come along, but we are just not doing training that day, okay? So 4 hours of debauchery with me, Beth, Travis. I believe Sue Hope is coming, and we're hoping William Bumfrey will come over. We'll see if he can. He'll be back 2 days from Japan, but he's already going to be jet lagged, right?
4 hours of debauchery?
It's going to be 4 hours of debauchery.
That's a new word for me. I learned something today. See what community does?
We just learned something, guys. But let's get started, Ms. Beth, with the questions for tonight.
Okay.
We have a lot of them, and we want to make sure we get as many as we can in tonight.
Well, let's see. It looks like the very first one on our list is for you, Mr. Ronnie. It says, where do I find the links that are put in the chat during the meeting?
This is a really great question and a great way to kick off this. If you are on Zoom, along to the side, there are going to be a little panel for you where it shows where you can chat, or if you go down to the bottom, you can see chat. And if you see those 3 little dots there, you should be able to download the chat links. And if you're watching the replay, we try to post the most important ones with the replay as well. So if you're watching the replay, just look at the description on YouTube. But if you're here tonight, you can go over to the side to the chat. If you try to chat or you click the little button that says chat, just scroll up and you'll see all of the links that we're posting in there for you tonight.
Awesome. Good to know. This one probably is for you as well. Balancing tasks. How do you prioritize them? We always know notaries have to be organized, and we have to come up with a way to keep our day in check. So what do you recommend?
Well, before I answer this, I want to let everybody know if you're here live and you didn't send in a question tonight, that's okay. You can raise your hand and we'll alternate between the live audience and the questions that were pre-typed in. But so go ahead and get those hands raised at any moment during the session. Balancing tasks, how do I prioritize them? I literally use my calendar. And I make it a point to tell everyone, if you're not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. And you can train the people around you, your friends, your family. I mean, even my mother has to be calendared sometimes. And I love you, Mom. I know she's going to watch the replay. She watches everything I do. She's my first like on everything. But if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. And even my best friend at this level of business, as you're growing your business, you need to learn to use your calendar. And that's my personal method. I was a terrible employee in my 20s. I'm 43 plus now. You wouldn't have wanted to know me in my 20s because I didn't have a calendar. But if you have a calendar, that is one way to organize. Miss Beth, how do you organize yourself and stay on top of tasks?
Yeah, definitely my calendar, and sometimes lots of notes, maybe not sticky notes because those can be a little unruly, but calendar primarily. I even schedule my lunch. So we used to schedule our lunch as W-2 employees. And guess what? When you get into this business, you figure out that you have to schedule time for yourself to eat as well, or you just barrel right through the day. So definitely calendaring.
And one other little secret, after you get the calendaring down, I use, and I have to say her name differently, Alexia.
Yeah.
She didn't go off. I have lots of reminders that go off, and you guys hear them sometimes. You'll see me go on mute as she starts to come on. You'll probably hear it tonight at some point. I have medicine reminders, birthday reminders. I just tell her, remind me this. And she reminds me as I go through my day. And if you have a iPhone and I think you can do it on Android as well, I set reminders for everything I need to know. And I set them before it needs to happen with the intention of remembering it an hour later. So I set it for the time, and then I set it for like an hour and a half before the time.
Clever, clever. Hey, Mr. Ronnie, we've got a hand up in the audience. Can we go ahead and take that one?
Absolutely. Miss Grace, if you want to unmute and ask your question there.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I had last week or the week before asked the question, and Beth, you helped me answer it. I am no longer receiving notifications from Unlimited Ink. I haven't changed my profile or anything, and I don't know what happened. And I contacted them, and I'm not sure. I never did a job with you all, so I'm thinking you all blacklist me because maybe I didn't do a job. I don't know, but
So-
I just stopped receiving any notifications.
So that could actually be something wrong with your profile. What zip code are you in?
76063.
76063. So I'm just searching that zip code right now in signing order. It could have a lot to do with certain things. So let's just take a look. Great.
Yeah, but I was also receiving notifications from Florida, from all everywhere. So
I'm searching right now in signing order, and I'm removing all. So I just found you. There is
Okay.
something that is blocking you from seeing, and I can see it right now. So it's nothing that we've done.
Uh-oh.
And
What did
this
I
is
do?
something that everyone should know. I'm glad this is actually happening in real time here. So when I tick the box so let's see if I can do this without, okay, I can do this. Do you mind if I share?
Okay.
You have 0 orders and 0 feedback. So no one's going to see anything important about you. Let's actually share the screen here and show what's going on. So there's a lot of filters in the background for when I'm searching for a notary. And you can see Unlimited Ink has these ability to pre-select these options that we're looking for. I removed them all except for the one notary. But you'll notice when I click NNA certified here, you disappear. And that is the number one that we're looking for. So I don't want to pull this open with a shared screen, but I'm going to look into this off. I stopped the share there. I'm going to look into this by taking that off, and I'm going to go to your profile, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. So, and this is a great, we did a PSA about this. So your email in signing order is fullergrace at, and I'll leave it at whatever domain it could be. And then when I go to view your credentials, I'm going to go to your background check and look at your NNA profile. So when I go to your NNA profile, which is public, but we'll leave it off camera for here because YouTube doesn't like when you show information. When I go to your profile here, and it's loading up, just so you know, it shows that you took the NNA background check, but it does not show that you took the NNA test this year. You're on mute. I'm gonna let me let you unmute.
There you go. You can do it now.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, so that is why I'm
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why.
okay. So I need to take the test. Okay.
You
I'm
have to
I'm
take
writing this down.
you have to take the NNA test every single year. Every title company in the country expects you to take that NNA certified signing agent test every single year.
Okay. Okay. That's it.
And it won't be just affecting you from us, it's going to affect you from all companies everywhere.
Got
Unfortunately,
it.
it's the necessary evil, even though it doesn't benefit us because they haven't updated it in 20 years. Yep.
I
I said
so
it. Clip it and send it to them.
so how come I was not notified? I guess yeah, I guess someone to say how come I was not notified? Uh,
I love this question, Miss Grace.
okay.
If you don't mind me being frank with you,
Yeah.
it's because it's your responsibility. And that's the thing is
Mm,
the NNA gives us
there
all
we
the
go.
training, but they don't tell us what our responsibilities are. They just say
Mm-hmm.
take this test for the first time, and then they
Yeah.
don't tell us what our annual responsibilities are. But now you know how important it is to be in a meeting like this. You're
Mm-hmm.
that one thing that you needed to grow your business.
Mm.
And I've been doing this for 15 years going on, and I have had to take it every single year that I'm doing this. And it sucks because it's boring. It's
And
not
it
a
costs money.
challenging test at this point.
Yeah, it costs money. It's boring. It costs money and it doesn't do us any good, but title likes it. So 3 things you need to do, Grace.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Background is up to date. Take your NNA exam and go through the onboarding process with Unlimited Ink. So the NNA exam and getting those things up to date will get you to where you'll start seeing those orders again, but you won't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily get them unless
Mm-hmm.
you go through Unlimited Ink's onboarding session.
So I need to do that again. Okay.
Well, if you've done it
Mm-hmm.
once, your
Yeah.
notes are made. But if you've done the unlimited ink onboarding, the notes are made on your profile, so you don't need to actually do that again.
Okay.
But the credentials that we ask for when it comes to our orders, you have to have them in place.
Got it. Okay. And I have been doing the training, and I swear to you, my dog ate my paperwork. That I'm not joking. My dog ate my paperwork. I've been keeping up with my training and stuff, but I had been doing my training online. I have to print out a new one. My dog ate my paperwork.
That's really cute. Well,
Yeah,
fortunately, we
I
don't
kept
have
this. I got on him today because I left my study doors open and he came and chewed up my paperwork. I was like, yo, now I have to explain this to people.
Grace, you're gonna have to come back every week, and we're gonna have to see if we've got that dog in better training. I mean, you're in training, and we got a dog that needs
I
training,
got it.
and you guys know that I have 2 beautiful rescue puppies that I she's like, what are you doing, waking me up from my
Oh,
nap? But
so
you know,
cute.
we have to train ourselves and our dogs too. So come back every
I'm
week.
telling
On both.
you. Yeah. Well, thank you for answering my question. Thank you.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome. Okay, so how about one more from Jot Form for our Ron trainer, and then we'll get back to the hands up.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't get too tired. So Mr. Bill, this is for you. How does Bill get so much business as a Ron notary? Because as we know, Bill is just busy all the time, all the time.
Well, can you hear me? Okay. Oh, yeah. It's kind of a combination of things. Now, the first one that I will preface it with is it was completely right place at right time. I was a remote notary July of 2019 before the pandemic. And so when the pandemic hit in March, I was able to transition immediately into that. And go full tilt from the beginning. So I kept busy with stuff during that time, and then it also allowed me to kind of branch out and look at other things. So I think part of what allows me to stay busy is just having the established relationships with a lot of different a lot of different people. So I've kind of spread it out to a lot of different areas. I think another one is that I will always shamelessly plug myself at the end of every single signing and say, hey, if you need a remote notary for anything else, this works anywhere in the country, it works anywhere in the world. So you've got my contact information, get in touch with me. So that's another one. I think the other thing I do is anyone that's been in my class knows that I can be a little bit ADD and kind of all over the place. That kind of is helpful for this because I can kind of look and think, okay, maybe I should look over here and see if there's work in this area. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, I'll go over here. So I think that has been able to help me because I can kind of pivot and move around. And I think just being social and being someone that people like to talk to is a huge thing. I mean, just if you have an escrow officer, now I'm not saying to hound them, but if you have one that you can say send an email to afterwards, like, wow, that was a beast, or wow, it was great working with you. Let me know if I can help you in the future. And then just dropping in every once in a while and just reminding them you're there. I think that's the biggest thing. That's out of sight, out of mind. And I'm guilty of it. I do it myself. I mean, I forget to reach back out to somebody for a long period of time. But it's very easy to be out of sight, out of mind. So I think those are the big ones. Make sure that you're getting yourself in front of as many people as possible. Be very social with them. Remind everybody about you want new business. Don't be afraid to ask for new business. Don't be afraid to tell people what you do. Because I'm telling you, I deal with people every single day that still don't know that remote online notary is a thing. I didn't know we could do this. I've never even heard of this. This is so amazing. And so just getting on your social media and really pushing, hey, this is out there. You can do this. And the other thing that'll help you too, just as a little hint, if someone says, "Oh, I'd like to do this, but I don't know if my my attorney, my escrow, my whatever knows about this," volunteer to speak to them. Say, "Hey, you want me to call them and talk to them on your behalf? I can explain it to them, see if they have any questions." And then not only are you helping the client, but you're also establishing the relationship for yourself moving forward with that escrow or attorney or medical place or whatever.
And then,
Well,
Bill, I just want to say one thing. I'm calling you into the principal's office on this because the one thing that I feel that they need to hear, I'm going to pin you up here too. You're now in the principal's office. So one thing that I feel that notaries need to hear, and you do an amazing job of writing a lot of blogs on how to market in different industries you can move into for Notary Stars and online notariespublic.com. And I think that the one thing that notaries need to hear when it comes to Ron is don't limit yourself to title and escrow. Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't even really do title and escrow, and you're very successful at this. You mostly
I don't.
other industries.
I try to avoid it. I did one this morning, just to give you an idea. I did one this morning for a company, and it was supposed to be an easy signing. It took 3 hours and I got $25. And if you don't think I was ticked off and ready to say, don't call me again, but again, that's an example where I called her up and I'm like, hey, let's just go over all the things that went wrong in this so moving forward what you have to do on your end to make it smoother. And then try me again for another one and let's see if we can work it out. So even though I was agitated as could be for my 3 hours spent to get the $25, and actually I got her to move it to $35 and a cancellation fee for the first part. But
I just want to say this, I work with you. I mean, of course, you're an instructor here when it comes to Notary Stars, but I want to say, I've known Bill for quite a while, at Unlimited Inc. and we've worked together. He is actually a threat to signing services, truly, because we want to work with someone like him that's very knowledgeable. But I work with him at Unlimited Inc. Notary as a notary. I work with him at Notary Stars as an instructor. And here's the thing, I never discount people at all. I could be like, well, he's difficult to work with, but he's not going to put up with BS from me as a signing service. But he's also very successful in what he does. And he's also at conferences that I'm not at sometimes. And he comes back and tells me about them. I remember when you were at one with, we won't mention their name, but it sounded like an airplane. They're not closed, but you were there talking to my clients about Ron when I couldn't be there. And so you have to kind of get into the mix and look at him now. He's very successful at Ron. He's teaching classes on 2 different websites, Notary Stars and onlinenotariespublic.com. It's, you know, but you didn't limit yourself to just title and escrow. And you weren't a diva about it, because I always have to talk about that diva notary syndrome. You were just matter of fact, like, this is how it works. You knew how Ron worked when everyone else did not. And so I appreciate your knowledge that you bring to the table here, you know, when it comes to those things. We probably got to move on from the subject, but I wanted to touch on that because we got another big Ron one for you coming up tonight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, shall we take a hand up now?
Yes, because their virtual hands have got to be getting tired.
Yeah, Tiffany, thanks for being so patient. If you want to unmute and ask your question.
Hi, guys. My name is Tiffany G with That Great Notary, based out of Miami, Florida.
Wow.
And my question here today is, so I am now at the point in my career where I'm ready to sign up for signing services. There was a specific reason why I hadn't done that. But now I'm at the point where I want to do it. And the list that is being circulated is from the other school or class that everybody else takes also. And the question, my main question is there a reason, is there a point, or should I or should I not sign up for this list? Shows what state these signing services are in. I'm in Florida. Is there a point, is there a reason to sign up for other states
Yes.
that are outside of Florida, or am I only supposed to sign up for the signing services in Florida? And explain, please.
You need to sign up with everybody, even if they're not in your backyard. And the reason is, just like Unlimited Inc. Notary, they don't do just business in Arizona. They are nationwide. So matters not, and you might, our rule of thumb is, and it's been this way in the industry for the last 20 years, you need to sign up with at least 100 different companies. If you're going for signing services, you may only get 1-2 orders from them a month or every 2 months. So you need several of those companies to fill your calendar, and don't limit yourself to just those local companies. You need to do everybody. Do everybody, because
okay, I was unaware of that.
Yeah, Ronnie.
Miss Beth, I want to say this too. So there, you know, we do teach this at Notary Stars, and maybe it gets missed some places, but this is my method. And I've signed up every year for hundreds of companies, and then we don't get anything out of them. But I have like Sunshine Shining Connection that sends me 1 a year in Arizona, and then I have Mortgage Connects that maybe sends me 15 orders. We have to have our names in all the hats of title companies and signing services that will send us business. But here's my method of priority. I want to know all the local signing services to me, and I mean local by state, because they're probably going to have a lot of business in the state, because any signing service out there is going to start in their state and permeate out of the state, just like Unlimited Inc. Notary. We have more clients in Arizona than we do all over the country, and we have 450 clients throughout the country. We have Jacksonville, it permeates from there. We have Arizona, we have different areas of California, and it permeates from there. We have different areas of Texas, and it permeates from there. So there, look for signing services that are close to you. Sign up with those first. Then you want to sign up with the nationwide companies like Amrock, Mortgage Connect. They're always going to have business everywhere in your industry. And here's my little marketing tip that I tell my marketing students. When you get on SnapDoc, signing order, bank serve, all those things, take screenshots of every order that comes out in your area. Okay, whether you get them or not. Write down who that company was. And if they have a lot of business in your area, go to their website, find out what they need from you, talk to a hiring manager, a lead scheduler, and say, what do I need to work with you? Okay, so you're going to want to work, but I have to say this. All of you should also be looking for direct business, not just looking for signing services. I own one. I started one because I didn't want to work for it. Signing services because they take a cut. I take a cut. So you should also look for local title companies and attorneys to work with. But if you are just starting out and you're trying to get that, 100 order or get your feet wet so you can impress a title company, use that method. And that's all I'll say on that. Miss Tiffany, thank you for that question.
Thank you. I started the other way around. So I was a paralegal and then I started marketing direct. And now I'm at the point where I'm not a paralegal anymore. So my time is freed up. And so that's why I'm going back to the basics or the beginnings of doing the signing order stuff. But thank you guys so much. I really learned a lot from all of your content.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I
Thank
learned
you.
from you too, actually.
Thank you.
If you guys don't know Miss Tiffany, post it in the chat. You have a wonderful Instagram channel, and I appreciate the content that you post. You're very motivational.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I will take your offer and put my IG in the chat.
Here's the thing, guys. Tiffany came to this tonight, but she's out there helping other people all the time with what she's got going on in her life. And I honestly, I really appreciate the content that you post. So thank you.
Thank you. Of course.
All right, Miss Beth, do we want to do a question from the gallery, which continuously gets larger, or do we want to go to another question on the form?
If we can do a short answer on the form, that'd be okay, and then we can take Linda.
Okay, I can do a short answer on that next one for sure.
Okay. This is from VJ. She wants to know, where do I go to increase my E&O insurance to 100,000?
So Miss VJ, if you're here tonight, and if not for everybody, you can always go to the National Notary Association to purchase or increase your insurance policy. If you didn't buy it from them in the beginning, you can call whoever you bought it from and increase it to 100,000. It's when you're getting into those direct business models that it's like 100,000, $1 million, which everyone needs if you're going to work direct. That's when you're going to have to call an insurance broker like Hiscox. I'm not endorsing them. We don't get anything to say for that. We have to be very careful at Notary Stars telling you where to go. Every state has different vendors, and we're not allowed here at Notary Stars to say where to go. And anybody that's telling you where to go, you have to be very careful who you're listening to, because if that insurance doesn't work for you, then you could come back and sue them. So my personal is with Hiscox. I'm not endorsing them in any way. But I'm just saying, I don't get any affiliate links or any of those things. But if someone's endorsing something to you, you have to know how to have that conversation and ask them, are you really going to cover me? Unfortunately, that's a personal venture for every single notary in the country. And insurance, don't listen to me, don't listen to Bill Soroka, don't listen to Mark Wills, don't listen to Judy Lawrence, don't listen to anybody but an insurance broker when it comes to your business, because only insurance brokers are insurance brokers. Okay? And I'll leave it at that.
Awesome. Good answer. Miss Linda from California, you've got your hand up. Would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much. Actually, I have two questions. Can I ask two questions?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so I was recently listening to some previous MGM replays. Ronnie, in one of them, you were talking about interviewing for referrals. And you said, we all know how to interview someone to make sure that you can refer them. Well, no, we do not all know. Can we get some specific training for this?
You know what? If you send me an email, I would love to do a training on this. And believe it or not, Miss Linda, you actually probably possess the skills that you need uh to to interview a referral. But if you feel like you need some coaching on that, that is something I would love to add. And I could use that into I could lead that from the customer service champions that we did, and it's free on our YouTube channel. I would love to do that. So that the answer to your first question is send me an email to contact@notarystars.com. I would love to expand upon that. You probably have the skills, you probably just don't recognize that you have them.
Okay, excellent. I will be sending you an email tonight. Thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
my second question is, how do I know if signing order has me as NNA certified? When I go to the certifications, it has a list of certifications, but it doesn't show this one. This one seems to be something that's hidden that's really essential.
So very good question. And I'm going to actually go back to that search. And Miss Grace, I just want to find out if we still have you on the call since I want to see if we can use your profile. Miss Grace, if you're still here, can you virtually raise your hand? Because I still have you up on my screen and we can use this this as a good example. Let me see if Grace puts her hand up there.
Well, she's still here, but she might be off doing something else.
Well, or she might be caught off guard. Let's see. Miss Grace, can you hear me? I sent you the ask.
Okay, there we go. There we go. I was clapping. I don't know why I'm clapping.
Oh, she is.
I was trying to raise my hand, but I started clapping. I don't know. But go ahead. Yes, go right ahead.
Okay, so let me show you guys in signing order. Now you're going to see it slightly different than this because this is the signing service view of this. So in the background, what we see is this background check report here. And we'll see this link to the NNA. Now, I'm not going to show that, which I have open here. We'll see this link to the NNA profile that they allow you to put in with your background check. And that's going to show what you're looking for there. Does that help out there? As long as you put in your signingagent.com profile, and I can show you from signingagent.com. Let's see. If we go to signingagent.com, if we look up anybody, let's just say, Miss Beth, what's your zip code?
85381.
So if you go and look up your own profile there on signingagent.com, which is a part of the NNA, and we start to look for that link, let's just see. God, there's a lot of people in your area. There you are. So there's Miss Beth. If we go to your profile, this is the link that you're looking for there. And you just take that link out.
He's saying you just copy that link and paste it into your profile.
Yeah, and then it syncs with everything in signing order. All right.
Did that answer your question?
I think they went back on mute, and I forgot who asked the question because her hand is down.
Was that Linda?
Miss Linda, yeah. Let's see. Miss Linda, did that answer your question there?
She says, gotcha in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. And Jamie says you put it in your signing order profile.
That's correct.
So you're copying that NNA profile link to your signing order profile. Yeah.
Correct.
Okie doke. Here we go. Kimberly Jordan, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I just had a quick question about the onboarding for Unlimited Ink. I took the onboarding last summer, but I just now finished doing my courses through Notary Stars. Do I need to go back through that process of onboarding again?
If you did not do your training at Notary Stars, you're asking the horse's mouth here. If you didn't actually complete the training when you signed up at Notary Stars or you did the onboarding, it will do you good to go back and take it again because things change. Number one, but if you are just doing the training, we would have not put you up higher on the list just for attending the onboarding, only if you had completed your training. So I would definitely sign up for it again.
So I did the onboarding last summer and I just finished my training this month here. So I need to go back and redo the onboarding again.
I definitely would, and I would definitely let Travis know, who does that onboarding, that you're, just completed the training, that you've been there before, because if you haven't been taking orders, it'll help you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're getting a few questions about Unlimited Ink Notary and some in the chat as well. I want to remind you guys, we are here as a training company. So Unlimited Ink, as great as it is to have that as part of this company, they are two separate entities.
Yeah, Ms. Beth, if you don't mind me actually speaking up about this, I want to make sure everybody knows, and I think a lot of the people that are existing, but the newer audience that we have, I mean, we brought in 130 new members and these things. Unlimited Ink Notary is a signing service, and I own that. And it is a completely separate business from Notary Stars, entirely separate, two different bank accounts, two different teams of management, other than myself at the top that manages one team and then manages the other team. Notary Stars is my passion project where I train notaries to work with anyone throughout the entire country, no matter if it's Unlimited Ink Notary, which I modeled after AMROC and what they're expecting from notaries, but they never told us that they're actually expecting anything. I took that and started Notary Stars so that notaries could thrive throughout the country. So it's two separate companies, and really tonight we don't want to focus on Unlimited Ink Notary. You can always send me an email, or Unlimited Ink Notary an email, but for sure, two separate companies, two different ideas, two different objectives. If your only goal is to get a business from Unlimited Ink Notary, you're missing out on what Notary Stars actually has to offer, because we offer so much more than just working at one little signing service, which is, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, but that's a small flash in the pan of what you can take from these trainings and go off and do more with it. We're teaching you everything that myself, Beth, and Travis knows, so you can do it yourself. Unlimited Ink is just a little bit of, it's not even the icing on the cake, it's like a little flour on the icing on the cake. So I just wanted to break in there for that, because it's the truth.
So Ronnie, we still have several hands up. We've got a little guest that popped in to see us, Miss Delora Snyder. And then there's another topic that we have to get to tonight. We've only got 10 minutes left. So where do you want to go from here?
Let's get Miss Delora in. I'm gonna make her a co-host now and pin her. And then let's get as many questions answered as we possibly can. Guys, you have been on fire this year with questions.
Yeah.
And we have some really great ones we haven't even gotten to tonight. I almost want to go like 2 hours, but we can't. I've been bound by the YouTube gods to not go over 2 hours, but we have so many questions that we can do next week. Let's get Miss Delora in, because this is actually kind of important. So Miss Delora, when you are ready, I'm gonna pin you up.
Hi, everybody. My name's Delora, as Ronnie said. I'm happy to be here. I have teamed up with Ronnie and Beth. I don't know, it's been 4 or 5 months now, I think, before open enrollment started, for health insurance coverage. So my main focus is helping 1099 contracted people or self-employed people with health coverage. You don't have to be either of those people to have me help you, but that's usually what we focus on, what my clients are. And having insurance that actually does what you need it to do is really important. As a self-employed person, you don't have a lot of options out there. And so my role here is to help you look at all of your options and show you what's out there so that you can decide what fits your needs for your family and your business and to be able to protect you guys. So my information is all over the website and I'll share it here with the chat too. But anytime you guys have any questions or need anything, feel free to reach out anytime. I'm here for you guys.
And I just want to chime in on this. I do it every time that I get an opportunity. Actually, I've had a very emotional time here at Unlimited Ink. You guys have heard me share this story over and over again. But one of our employees actually just lost their sister to bacterial meningitis. It was pretty emotional for me, 20 years, and she got all the paid time off that she needs, and we're giving more paid time off. It was pretty emotional, but the reason I believe in health insurance is because when I was 21 years old, I was 2 days off my father's insurance. I spent 8 weeks in a coma, had to learn to walk and talk again. They told my parents if I ever woke up from the coma, that I would, probably not be normal. Boy, did I show them they can't shut me up. But I was told I would never walk or talk again. But to make a little, to put the seriousness on the joke there, I was 2 days off my father's insurance and I ran up a $500,000 to $1 million bill. And the judge just looked at me in 21 and said, I have a son your age. I'm going to approve this bankruptcy. That's how you did it back then. Now you can do it online. But if I had to go bankrupt at 43, it would be horrible. At 21, I had a new start. Even though I lost 4 other people that were in my college, that was difficult. And I still go to therapy over that thing. Why was I the one chosen to live? But now at 43, if I had to start over with no coverage, I have no idea how I would do it. And as we get older, it's really smart to protect ourselves. So if you don't have a health insurance option, and Delora will tell you, she may not be the option for you. She will review it. She may be able to save you money. She may be more pricey, but there's no hurt in reviewing the cost that it might take for health insurance. Thank you, Ms. Delora. We always appreciate you being here. It's something I believe in very passionately.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. See you next week.
Thank you.
All righty. How about Natalie Reef in New Jersey?
Thank you, Beth. Hi, everybody. I have a purchase signing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I'm in New Jersey. This is for a property in San Diego, California. So just a quick question on the deed of trust acknowledgement. The California acknowledgements look much different than mine in New Jersey. One of the lines that says, I certify under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California. I normally would just strike out California and put in my state and initial. Is that correct? Because I know California makes me a little nervous. They have very strict codes.
They do, but listen, you're not signing in California and you're not a California notary. You're not bound by California regulations.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you need to change that from California to New Jersey, just like you said, a single line through it, write New Jersey above that and initial it, and you should be golden as long as the rest of the certificate has the elements that New Jersey requires.
It does. And for some reason, California just makes me nervous because they seem very strict. But thank you so much. I knew that in my heart, but I just wanted to get confirmation. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome. Mr. Mickle, we have a topic that you probably want to address here before it gets too far past the hour, and that's with e-notary log closing.
Yes, absolutely. Mr. Bill, we've had a lot of questions come in for this, and I really want to put this in your wheelhouse. There's a lot of notaries been affected by e-notary log closing as raw notaries, and I just love for you to help update everybody on what we need to do with our notary journals when it comes to a Ron company closing, which is the first time. And by the way, Susan Oliveira is the one who brought this to my attention. I'm sorry I didn't reply to your email, but I got on the horn with Bill after that and kept going. So I see her here tonight with her beautiful blue background. But thank you for bringing that to my attention because we immediately started working on a response to this. So, Mr. Bill, what do we need to do when a RON platform is closing?
So first thing I'm going to tell you is go back and watch the replay from Friday that we did in class because we took an hour to discuss this, but I'll try and kind of give you a nutshell. You want to make sure that you go in before the closing and you want to download the journal, the eNotary journal, which that's pretty easy to do on eNotary log and I think on most of them, but you also want to download your videos. Because your states are going to say that you need to have access to your videos and your journal should you be subpoenaed for them or requested to present them. And while it would be nice to believe that the companies will still be active and still have the stuff housed for you for the next 10 years or whatever your state's requirement is, in all reality, it might not happen. I mean, if they're having trouble making ends meet now, with storage over the next 10 years, it could add up to even more. So ultimately, they're just a software company. You're the notary. You're the one that's going to have to answer for what you did and what you have and what you don't have. So I would make it a point to go in now while you still can and download your full journals and download your videos. Then once you have that, then there's a couple other elements as far as storage and where you're going to put it. If you're going to store it to the cloud or you're going to store it on a thumb drive, ideally you should be putting it in 2 locations, just as a redundancy. But that would be my first thing to do. And my second thing to say, and I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else, don't wait for them to close down. Because now I have to sit here and I personally have to go through 450 some odd closings on that site and download those journals and download those videos. And so that is what I will be doing in all of my free time for the next couple of days. So get through this one, get through eNotary log if it affects you and get those downloaded. But then you probably should just put it on your calendar like Ronnie was talking about, to do that for all of your sites for the month, because it would be a heck of a lot easier to download all of your signings for the month of February 2024, store them, and move on, rather than having to recreate an entire session. And for me, with 4,000 plus signings, it would take a long time to sit and go through all of those. So did that answer what you were thinking?
I believe so, Mr. Bill, and thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for doing an hour on it on Friday in class. I appreciate that, because I know you weren't planning on teaching that, but you
no. But it's a dry subject, but it was kind of interesting once we started going through it. And definitely watch the replay. We talked about naming conventions and organization and all of those things that'll make it a lot simpler should you have to find them again.
Thank you, Mr. Bill. Put it into the chat. Oh. So the next question coming up is from Nancy. Miss Nancy, if you are ready.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
My question to you, Ronnie, is I know you highly recommend or / require notaries to have mobile scanners.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to get your opinion on some of these scanner apps that you can download to your phone. And I wanted to get your thought on that versus a hard scanner.
Miss Nancy, I love this question, and this is going to help so many notaries throughout the country. Scanner apps. So when you're talking about recording with the county recorder, if they don't have a crystal clear scan of those documents, then it's never going to pass recording. So if you're out in the field and you have a file that's closing that day, first of all, a buyer's file, you have to scan every single page with a photo. That's going to take you forever. Whereas, my little beast over here can scan a whole package in like a minute. And that's the Epson ES500, which you can find on all over Notary Stars. If you're using that phone scanner app, even if a page and it's hard to just envision, but even if one little warp, we call it warbly, that's the term that I've coined. If it's warbly, it's not going to record with the county recorder, and they're going to not like you for it.
Okay.
And you know, and don't take this the wrong way, but we are professional signing agents, meaning that we understand that that county recorder is not going to take that warbly text, so we take that professional scanner with us.
Okay.
If you're doing something like a general notary document and it's not being recorded, that could help. But why would you do that to yourself if it's a whole loan package, or even, you know, California files? You're in Florida, but California seller files are like sometimes 125 pages. You wouldn't want to do that either. If it's a small file and it's not a recording thing, you can get away with that. And we'll even take that at unlimited ink if we're like, hey, it's got a ship and it's not a loan signing. But if it's a loan signing, it's just not going to work. But general
Okay.
notary work, things like that, it'll work fine. And if I had to use one, I think there's one. What kind of phone do you have?
iPhone.
iPhone. They actually
Yeah.
have a built-in brilliant scanner for iPhone. If you go to notes in your iPhone,
Right.
I'm well, I was gonna do it as we talked, but my phone died. Um, if you go to your iPhone, if you could click on notes and you go to add a note, it'll give you an option to scan to a PDF in
Oh,
your notes, and it's a really great quality. On the
okay.
iPhone, on the Android, they may have a similar function, but my personal, I used to use Cam Scanner, and I don't know why I did the quotation marks there, but I used to do Cam Scanner. It was pretty good, but iPhone has it built into. Oh, I know, it's just resetting itself. So if you go into your notes, create a new note, and you look at the bottom, you'll see the ability to add a scan
Okay.
your notes, and it works really good.
Okay. Now, on your little Epson, when you bring that with you, do you need Wi-Fi for that, or do you just plug it into your laptop?
First of all, please do not call my little Epson little
I'm,
Epson. That thing has made me more money than you would ever know. It is my
I
beast.
didn't mean it like that.
I wish my phone was working, because I have a text message from a notary who texted me 2 years ago, and I will never let this text message go. She goes, "That thing's so fast it blew my hair back." And that's Roxanne Franks right here from Arizona. Uh, my little in size, it's little. In heart, it is a beast. Um,
Okay.
I actually use it plugged into my laptop. I don't
Okay.
like doing the Wi-Fi, because when you take a large file and you try to transfer it over Wi-Fi, it takes a lot longer. I just keep
Right.
the cord and plug it into the laptop.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll invest in that. That's what it sounds like I need to do.
Make sure to do it from the Notary Stars website. We do get a little kickback if you buy it from the Amazon link we
Okay.
have on there, and which helps bring PSAs like tonight.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Mr. Hal, would you like to unmute and ask your question? Oh, we can't hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
How you doing? Yeah,
Awesome.
it's fun to be here. I've been a notary for so long. I've just been a one-man band over here in North Carolina. So it's nice to see all these notaries. When I first started doing notary, our notary was a rock. I'm kidding. Anyway, you guys are talking about the Ron closings, and here in North Carolina, we aren't really doing that. Are you? Um, I had talked to the folks at the Secretary of State last year about it, but give me an idea in other parts of the United States. Are you able to sit at your laptop and do closings around the country? Are
Yes.
we able to do that yet?
Yes, however, in North Carolina, and Bill, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in North Carolina, currently the signer has to be located in North Carolina, so does the notary. So it doesn't really work. You can do it anywhere in the state. And I hope I'm not confusing this with South
Yeah,
Carolina.
we really don't have like 100% like electronic stuff going on, and that's what I was wondering. I've been, hoping that it would happen, but they aren't at that point. But
Yeah,
anyway, I was just wondering if that's what's happening around the United States yet. So
it is happening. So as long as the notary is physically located in their state, so they can be anywhere, like I can take my laptop anywhere in this state, and do a closing for anyone anywhere in the country, as long as it's, you know, the lender accepts it and all those things. I
Right.
can be anywhere
Right.
and work as long as I'm physically located in my state where I'm commissioned. That seems to
Uh-huh.
be the law. You can't travel between state lines and all those things.
Are you guys doing a lot? I mean, are people doing a lot of this now where you can just do closing after closing at home? And
7% of closings, and that's a figure that was handed to me. I won't say what resource, but it had to do with Notarize. Only 7% of closings are actually happening, and it's only on the seller file side, not when a
yeah,
lender's involved. Only 7% of closings are actually happening on Ron.
okay.
However, there are so many more documents you can do all over the
Mm-hmm.
country and the world for people
Yeah.
that are on Ron.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I
And
was just
so
curious about
if
that.
you want to see, and you know, there was one question that we didn't get to tonight, Miss Beth, and I'll just pull that up really quick. It had to do with notary fees, and notary fees are no different than Ron when it comes to my mind. The question was, you know, how do we get our notary prices increased by state level, and how can you learn more about Ron, and how can you do those things? It's about having a conversation with your Secretary of State, but not just from your voice, but also partnering with, and I know that North Carolina actually has a notary association,
Yeah.
and they're on the homepage of Notary Stars. By going to that organization and saying, hey, we need to have this discussion and get more education on this. And that's how you increase your fees. That's how you get
Mm-hmm.
Ron available outside of your state from doing it for your state. That's going to be a very important conversation for you to have. And the best place to turn is your local advocacy organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I remember when I first started doing remote close. I mean, you know, when I was a signing agent 20 years ago, I mean, I was getting 200 a closing, and then it just started going down and down and down. So maybe, you know,
I
I
blame
was
Uber,
looking
Lyft,
over.
and Airbnb.
Say what?
I blame Uber, Lyft, and Airbnb because they're trying to put notaries into an on-demand service. And,
Right,
you know,
right.
we're not an on-demand service. We have to print docs, we have to travel, we have to do things. And sure, we want mobile printers and mobile scanners and all those things, but we are not an on-demand service. I mean, we actually take brain power to make this happen. We have to make decisions and think about what
Mm-hmm.
we're doing. And so, yeah, I blame the gig economy and all the people who try to turn our job into a gig economy job for making it feel that way, but we're not a gig economy. We're brain power economy.
Well, you know, some of these sites came out and they were taking, you know, the lowest bid. It was kind of like we were like on eBay, and we were, you know, some of these sites, I don't think they're doing
I've not
much
heard it put
anymore,
that
but
way, but it does feel that way sometimes, doesn't it?
right, we've been commoditized, and um but our costs are still, you know, paper and ink and everything is more expensive, yet a lot of these companies haven't increased their fees. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. You know, I probably need to join you guys at some point.
The door is always open.
Thanks. That would be fun because I'm like a one-man band over here. I have been for years.
Well, you got a whole community waiting for you here. And by the way, guys, this event happens every Monday, except for holidays. Put it on your calendar, bookmark it, and ask a friend to come. I see notaries here that have been here for 5 years. I see brand new faces tonight. Mr. Howell, thank you for your question tonight and your statements. Guys, we have reached 13 minutes overtime, which is a lucky number in Taylor Swift universe, if you don't know.
That's right.
I know Miss Grace had put up her hand a couple of times. If you want to send an email to contact@notarystars.com, whatever question you had up, I'll be happy to answer. Oh, she's just showing the scanner there. Yep.
Yep. Her portable scanner. Yep.
Yep. Guys, I want to ask you to turn on your cameras really quick. just so we can say goodnight to everybody. We want to say goodnight to you. We want to see goodnight from you. Let's turn those cameras on, and I'm going to say it my way, and then Beth will send us off. If you are not naked, if you're not stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, please turn on those cameras. I see some people laughing at that. Let's turn on those cameras. I'm gonna wait until we have a full screen. Come on, Jamie, you can do it. Let's get there we go. Let's get those cameras going.
All
Let's
right.
do our signature wave for everybody that could not be here tonight. Let's do it if you come back and watch the replay. Let's do it for the future notaries that are going to be a part of Notary Stars. Miss Beth, how do we say it when we get to where we're going?
All right, you guys, just remember, we're all in the same storm. We just aren't all in the same boat. Some of us have yachts, some of us have canoes, others are just dog paddling. Please remember to be kind, reach back and grab the hand of that other notary struggling and bring them along with you on your journey. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody. We
Have a
really
good
appreciate
evening.
you tonight. And good night.